Jiddu Krishnamurti, one of the most radical thinkers of 20th century, believed that most of us suffer because we ignore one fundamental truth. Freedom begins when we stop following and start observing. In this video, we will explore Krishnamurti's core philosophy, why he rejected all spiritual authority, how he challenged tradition, and what it really means to live with awareness. If you have ever felt stuck, anxious, or overwhelmed by life's noise, this might be the clarity you have been looking for. Well, explore the remarkable knowledge and seekings of Jiddu Krishnamurti, a philosopher who changed everything we know about the truth, awareness, and how to live deeply. Krishnamurti's message is simple but revolutionary. Truth is a pathless land. He thought that the real understanding is not found in the books or beliefs, through direct observation of ourselves, our relationships, without judgment, fear, or the influence of authority. If you are curious how choiceless awareness, inner freedom, and universal compassion can transform the way you see the life, stay tuned as we deep dive into the philosophy of the 20th century most original spiritual thinker, right? Stop chasing methods, stop reading self help books, stop following gurus. Jiddu Krishnamurti spent his entire life telling the world the most important, edifying, and liberating truth. You are the authority. You don't need a system, a path, or a leader to find truth, freedom, or peace. Today, we are diving into the radical philosophy. The truth is pathless land and teachings of choiceless awareness, how to end physiological fear, and why the observer is observed. If you're tired of seeking answer outside yourself, this video is your guide to looking inward for a very first time. Let's start the inquiry. Jiddu Krishnamurti, born in May 11th, 1895, Madanapalle, Andhra Pradesh, India, died February 17th, 1986, Ojai, California, USA. Discovered as a young boy in 1909 by Charles Leadbeater, a leader for the Theological Society who believed Krishnamurti was the old teacher. The Physiological Society groomed him to be a spiritual leader, formed an organization called the Order of Star around him. My friends, I have spent my entire life in traveling and meeting a lot of spiritual masters and gurus, learning a lot about meditation, yoga, and spirituality, and read hundreds and thousands of books. And finally, after getting all the knowledge, what changed my life is number one is Astavakrigeta. Astavakrigeta changed my life, my way of thinking, the way I see the world, the way I react, respond, think, behave, everything. Second one is Krishna is the philosophy. The way, the insight, the depth of the teachings and the philosophy, once you understand, you will not be the same person again. So the teachings are very, very profound. And Krishnamurti's teachings are most of things are you can relate with Ashtavakra. So this knowledge will definitely bring you, you can think yourself and observe yourself, you know who you are, you know what you are. It is all about this theory. Everything goes into about you. Who are you? Why are you? Self inquiry, going deep, thinking who you are. You. What are the thoughts, emotions, fears, anxiety? Why they are coming? How to observe, how to see them, how to aware about them. Philosophy, the deep emotion, the deep thoughts and emotions, how this will impact you, how you will be a choiceless awareness person or observer. So if you know the key of who you are, you play the game very well. So I spend my life, my time, my money, everything. Finally, I got the knowledge to some extent, understanding. I'll present in front of you. Turning point in Krishnamurti's life. 1929, Krishnamurti dissolved the door of the star, rejecting the idea of being guru, and he declared, truth is a pathless land. The man cannot come to it through organization, greed, dogma, priest, or ritual. So he lived as an independent thinker and teacher, traveling the world, giving talks and dialogues. The core of Jiddu Krishnamurti's 1895 to 1986, the philosophy centers on radical psychological freedom achieved through self-inquiry. Self-inquiry, self-inquiry. This is where everything comes, my friend. Doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a politician, a PM, or you are a crowdpati, business magnate, or who you are, it doesn't matter. It's all about start with self-inquiry. Go inside, think about yourself. Who is the cause of your sadness? Who is the cause of your sufferings? Who's the cause of your anxiety, fear? Who's the cause of your excitement? Is that observer is observed. Observe that unconditional awareness without the need to any external authority, guru, dogma, organized path. So the radical philosophy, centeredness of the philosophy is self-awareness. Same thing is said in the Ashtavakra Gita, it is said in the Vasishtha Gita, it was said in Bhagavad Gita, it is said in Shiva Purana. Every spiritual context, the thing start with you. You are the most important person. First, you know yourself, then you can know this entire universe. That is the way. You travel lot of countries, lot of places, but you never travel yourself within. Spend a lot of trips amount. You go to Switzerland, you go to Netherlands, you go to Australia, Singapore, wherever you want, you go. But you never go inside. That is a problem. Sit and meditate and see, observe yourself. Choiceless awareness. Why you are getting the thoughts? What is the root cause of sadness? Root cause of suffering? What is the freedom? Right? The rejection of external authority, dogma, is a path to the truth. The genius understanding comes from direct observation of one's own mind and the relationships, not following the rituals, teachers, or organization belief system. You observe yourself. That's enough. Direction of authority and pathless land. Truth is a pathless land. One has to inquire his own self, has to introspect his own self, and solely responsible for your own understanding. Truth must begin and end with the individual direct observation of their own mind and life. Because everything starts in the mind. In the mind, thoughts will start. The thoughts will cause to your society fear and anxiety about something will happen but may not happen. That lead to your suffering. The mind generates the thoughts based on vasanas, behaviors, rituals, conditions made by the society. That vasanas repeatingly, continuously same kind of anxiety, suffering, death. That is where the suffering is coming. But when the suffering is started, suffering is because of ignorance. Ignorance when it was started, you don't know. The universe started, ignorance started along with that. So when there is a no thought, no suffering, no fear, no anxiety. When you make the status of thoughtlessness, then the observed is observed. Observer is observed. That means the conscious awareness inside you, what is observing all those emotions, fears created by the thoughts, when you witness that without reacting to it, then the suffering ends in the thoughts. When you observe it, so it comes and goes. The thoughts, emotions, feelings, anxiety, fear, suffering comes and goes. Just like a clouds in a sky. The clouds in a sky never stay at one place. Come and go, come and go. Just like a waves in the water on the seashore, these all emotions comes and goes, all thoughts comes and goes. You just be an observer of these emotions. Choiceless awareness without disturbing any kind of reactions to it. Just keep observing. Should not attach to any without attachment. Just observe it. That is called choiceless awareness. Unconditional awareness. Observation without choice. Choiceless awareness. Self discovery is the philosophy. Awareness of what is direct observation of one's thoughts, feelings, fears, and reactions, the present moment, without judgment, analysis, comparison, or condemnation. You are the observer. The I, capital I, is the ego, making all the problems. When you put the seeds like, for example, you want the mango, it is sweet, and you are very excited for that. But you are putting the nimbu seeds and you are planting nimbu and expecting mango from the nimbu seeds. How it is possible? You have to put the seeds of mango, then tree goes and gives the mangoes. Observe whatever thoughts, emotions, feelings you want. First, you need to put those thoughts and emotions, things in your mind, your feelings. So, whatever thoughts, kindness, peace, compassion, love, forgiveness, patience, acceptance. So, when you put all these kind of emotions, feelings, you're conditioned by all this society, people, the culture. Remove all those things, observe it without choicelessness. The thoughts, feelings, emotions, it is observing. Struggle to change or control one's mind creates conflict because controller is the controlled. When this separation dissolves the state of complete and quiet attention, the gap between what is reality and what should be the ideal, that is the conflict it creates in the mind. By observing what is completely and without condemning the change, the energy that fuels conflict dissipates. So, when the conflict arises, the gap between the what is reality, what it should be, the ideal situation, you as an observer observe it. There's a lot of fears, anxieties, feelings is attached to your thoughts and emotions. Is where it making you suppressed from the reality. 90% of problems what we expect and going to happen, what we face in the future, not happen at all. But the future anxiety and uncertainty we are imagining in the present and we are making ourselves miserable. The past which has happened, that impressions which is created in the mind still is there in your memory. It is retrieving from the back end and making you always suffering, suffering. So there is no future, no past. Everything is there in the present only. You're driving a car. You have a side view mirror. You have front view mirror. But in the present, you have the control of steering, accelerator, clutch. But you need to use the past. That means rear view mirror and concentrate on the future, front view mirror, and live in the present. That is steering and accelerator. So the way you should be like that. You need to lead the life. Always taking too much from the side view mirror. You don't concentrate on the front view mirror or clutch or steering or brake. Always you are seeing rear view mirror and you are living in the past. Accidents happen. So live in the present. Use the future, past. Concentrate on the future. So that is the way you need to lead the life. Observe. Never, never ever forget the past. But don't it dominate your thoughts and emotions in the present. You are in a good mood, very happy situation. One bad thought from the pot arises in your mind, you spoil the entire situation. Why? You don't know how to handle your thoughts and emotions. One bad thought arises from your past. You are happy in the present moment, but one sad thought about the future anxiety has come up. What will happen to my future? God. That one small thought thinking about the future coming in your mind spoils entire present. The beauty here is what Krishnamurti is saying. Choiceless awareness. Observe it. Don't react to it. See it. And you are creating the problem within yourself. You are the person who can resolve it also. Don't depend on others. You created the problem within your mind. You dissolve it. Observe it. Take the help. So sit and observe. So he is called choiceless awareness. One saint sitting on the top of the hill and observing everybody at the bottom of the hill, what they are doing, somebody coming, somebody going, someone fighting, someone eating, huh, someone sleeping, all activities are happening. But saint is not reacting to anything. Sitting at the top and observing you. Be like an observer and don't react to that. See yourself who you are. That is the whole concept, right? The teacher only teaches, but master transforms. The knowledge explained here is very profound. You cannot adjust simply like that. You need to sit and inquire yourself, observe your emotions. When you get anger, you make entire people around you sad, suffering. Same time, instead of reacting, if you respond, you can lead a team extraordinary. Explain the situation. Pause. Don't react. Respond. Ask question. Give the space. That is the way you handle the things. Handle your emotions. Handle your fear and anxiety. The nature of thought, fear, and time. So, inquire, understand the root cause of a human sorrow. The root cause of sorrow is what? Your thought. Because of thought, you are getting the fear, anxiety, feverishness, excitement. When you observe your root cause and that root cause analysis, you fix that one. And when you're observing your observation and your thoughts and emotions, the thoughts will end up in that observation. So, thought is memory. Thought is fundamentally a material process, the residue of experience and knowledge, the memory absorbed in the brain, the impressions, lot of events, situations, whatever happened in the past, the thought is impressions of the mind. And thought is necessary for practical action. But distress when it attempts to lead with psychological issues, love, fear, and self identity. The source of fear is thought, rooted in time, specifically thought dwelling on the past. Whenever you go to the past, all fears, all regrets, all guilt only impressed in your brain, in your mind only come up. Anticipating about future will create always worry and anxiety. So again, it is making the problem. So everything, our brain only more complicated thing, it only creating the problems since we don't know how to handle it. So when you know that one, for example, you have one samosa and the samosa is given to you, you are keeping that samosa you have taken that samosa from freezer and you want to eat it. So you thought that one, okay, I'll keep it in microwave after 5 minutes. When it heated, I will eat. So you put in microwave, you heat it. Suddenly, some phone call has come. Urgently, you need to go, and you kept it again in the freezer. You went. You completed the task in 10 minutes. You came back. Again, you want to eat that samosa. You put it again in the oven to heat it, and you heat it, and you want to eat it. But suddenly, someone call you. Want to go urgently. Urgently, you put it again in the freezer. Again, third time you came back, you want to eat it. In order to eat, you want to put in micro oven and you heated the samosa, but you did not eat it. Again, you went outside and kept in the fridge. So what happened here? The samosa became a heat cold, heat cold, heat cold. And if you do like that, what will happen? Finally, it will spoil. Like that, when you go to the past, your mind always regret and guilt. Tendency of the mind is whenever you go to the past, it will retrieve the bad impressions first, regret impressions first. And even if you go to the future, only worry, anxiety things only it will remember. So like that, the heat and cold, heat and cold, heat, and it becomes your body reacts, your sensations in the body completely changes. Your mind will disturb and goes into a chaos. So everything you creating yourself all the problem because of lack of awareness, lack of consciousness. It's not about others, it's all about you yourself, thinking, your behavior, reactions, actions, because you're never doing the self inquiry, introspection. Is what Krishnamurti is saying. You are the root cause of everything, but you don't know about who you are, what you are. Is where it is all the problems are coming. You set yourself, everything in this world will be set. The projecting what mind happens. The fear is the product of thought. Projecting what might happen. The only way to be free of fear is to face the present moment with a complete attention, leaving no space for thought to project itself. So when you are projecting what will happen, so face it. What will happen, Max, my friend? In life, two things are certain. One is a death, another one is income tax. In life. One day we born, one day we die. Only if there is any certain thing, certainty in the is there, only death in the life. So why you need to worry about it? Live in the present, be happy, face the problems, know about this conscious awareness, profound knowledge. That's all. The end of the self is ego. The self, the ego is seen as a construct of continuous thought and memory, constantly seeking the security and continuity. So the insecurity within us will cause again that one. More fear, more anxiety, more problems. And someone is not respecting me. Someone is cheated me. Someone made me as a fraud. Hmm? So that kind of insecurity, regret, guilt within you, it makes you more suffer, more burn yourself. When you distance yourself from the events and situations, just like a waves in a water on a seashore comes and goes, situations comes and goes in life. But be an observer, never attached to anything. Right? That is where the meditation, the state of intelligence or meditation, which is not practice, but a state of being, occurs only when this thought based structure of the self comes to an end. So that is where when you start your freedom, when you free about your thoughts and your emotions and body sensations, then you will become free. When you are caged conditions by all these society, emotion, thoughts, culture, you are conditioned by all these items. You have to come out of those things to observe yourself, to observe your emotion. Is what the profound knowledge Krishnamurti says. Truth. pathless must be discovered personally. When you go inside, when you retrospect yourself, and when you self inquiry about yourself, when you start observing your own thoughts, emotion, feelings, greed, right, guilt, regrets, anxiety, feverishness, right, is where you live all your entire life within these emotions, in these thoughts. So when you go beyond the thoughts, observe with awareness, all these thoughts will dissolve in that observation. That is what he's saying, Krishnamurti. Awareness, choiceless observation, no judgment. So whatever happens, let it happen. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the emotions. I'm the pure conscious. I'm the pure awareness. When you have this kind of conscious awareness in your mind, everything, everything you can face it. Authority, reject all external teachings and dogmas. Leave about all those external preachings, teachings. Leave about. You observe yourself. That's all. Relationships mirror for self-understanding. You see yourself in many of the things in your relationships, in your behaviors, right? In your actions, reactions. People mirror themselves in their relationship, actions and reactions, right? So you observe how you are doing yourself. That is what is saying. Freedom, you know it found through observation. The freedom comes when you start doing observing yourself. So you distance yourself from your body and from your actions. Compassion, kindness, patience, forgiveness, forgetfulness, love, peace, everything comes universal humanism and beyond social categories. The truth is pathless land. The truth cannot be reacted through organization. Each through organization, religions, philosophies, or any methods. Each person must discover it first and through self-inquiry and deep observation. The self-inquiry and deep observation means you need to go into yourself, sit, meditate, and know yourself, observe yourself. No, no, no. That's all. Choiceless awareness. One must observe the thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment or interference, not trying to change them, but watching openly and attentively. This choiceless awareness dissolves conditioning and fear, revealing inner clarity and what a beautiful concept, my friend. Someone has to definitely experience this before they die, really. Entire life suffering, entire life with sadness, entire life with fear, anxiety. And I had someone ruining their life with this, all those things. When you start observing yourself, the way you get the freedom from everything, from your emotions, from fears, from your reactions, the beauty of the concept is same. What is said in uh, uh, Ashtavakra Gita and Vasishtha Gita, after that Bhagavad Gita, Puranas, even Shiva Purana, entiring about questioning about the self-inquiry only. Choiceless awareness. Observe your thoughts, emotions, reactions, responses, your fears, your guilt, your anxiety. Is where the choiceless, that is where the beauty lies. Who you are. Freedom from conditioning. Most suffering arises from the psychological patterns, memories, desires, fears, and attachment. Krishnamurti emphasized understanding and releasing these patterns. thereby achieving a state of inner freedom and wholeness. The mirror of relationships to people, nature, ideas are mirror of self-knowing. A true understanding of oneself comes from closely observing the interactions and responses in real life and seeing one's mind clearly reflection in them. What a beauty. Once you know the self knowledge, once you are observing your actions, reactions, and yourself in your relationships, how you talk to them, how you interact with them, whether you are uh, interacting with the fear, anxiety, guilt, regret, or any emotion, your relationships, your actions with your family, with your friends, with the society, and how conditioned by your mind by all those things, when you observe the things, you know yourself who you are.